Hello and welcome to the virtual Idaho Job and Career Fair. We are excited to have you join us and excited that we can produce this job fair virtually so that we can still connect the companies with our job seekers. At this time, I would like to first start off with thanking JR Simplot Company for their sponsorship of this networking room today. Without their support, this event would not have been possible to broadcast. A couple of items to note for this session. This networking room will be recorded for later viewing, and job seekers will have the opportunity to ask questions. So you can use the Q&A function on your screen here and to enter questions, and then Simplot representatives will answer those as time allows. You can find company contact information out for Simplot and the rest of the companies at www.idahocareerfair.com, and that will be under the participating companies button on this virtual job fair page that you're at. And so at this time, I would take time here to introduce Bill and Lauren from Simplot.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Kelly, for the introduction. So my name is Bill Baker, and I run the talent and culture programs for the JR Simplot Company. So that includes many of things, some of which fall into kind of event program management, things like this. So getting a chance to introduce the JR Simplot Company. Hopefully, many of you have some familiarity with us, but we hope to kind of share out maybe some new information and maybe things you weren't aware of. But also, give you some preview to a lot of the exciting things that are going on within the organization, and maybe some unique roles that we haven't seen open up in recent times or ever, depending on how long you've kind of followed our job board. So, throughout this, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A chat feature. Mallory Jones, who you may see in some kind of corner within your screen, will be administering that chat box there. So best we can, we'll go ahead and open those questions up to the entire audience. If there are any specific questions, we may provide kind of one-off answers, but very excited to have this this opportunity to provide you guys some insight here. So it looks like Lauren may be having a bit of technical difficulties getting in, which is completely fine. Oh, wait, there she goes. I think Kelly had to be let her in true gatekeeper fashion. So Lauren will be hopping in here shortly, and we'll have her share her screen. So we just have a few slides again to kind of set the stage. And then we'll have really a full panel of Simplot employees to be able to provide some context of the types of roles we have. So at each step, we'll let each one of them introduce themselves, which would include Hallie Stapleton, Lamar Berry, Lauren Scholes, and again, Mallory Jones, who you all virtually have met. So Lauren, at this point, looks like she's sharing her screen, which is great. And we'll see if this works. It's exciting. Virtual is always the most exciting piece. So we definitely, again, also appreciate your guys' patience. I think all of us would have thought this would have been a in-person event, and appreciate your flexibility to still have interest to help out. So Lauren, can you hear us okay? Looks like you might be muted.
There you go.
Perfect. I can see the presentation, but I can't hear you yet. Are you chatting?
Can you hear me now?
We can. Yes.
Okay. Gosh, sorry everybody.
No, you're good.
I was having a little bit of technical difficulty there. So yes, thank you for joining this virtual career fair. I'll just take you guys through kind of a quick overview of Simplot, our culture, and just tell you a little bit about who we are and kind of our roots. So let me click through here. We'll, just go over a company overview. Then I'm going to have Lamar Berry, who you might see here on the side of your screen. He'll go over our current opportunities and how to apply. And then Hallie, Mallory, all of us will be available for questions afterwards. So The JR Simplot Company is a very vertically integrated agriculture organization. So we really do everything from, you know, mining raw phosphate ore to getting those, you know, most famously, and you can see in the picture there, French fries on your dinner plate. So as you can see here, a couple fun facts, about 10,000 employees worldwide. We have locations, you know, all throughout the United States, but Canada, Mexico, Australia. So, yep, a very globally diverse organization, about $6 billion in annual revenue, and one of the largest frozen potato processors. Simplot's mission, I think, at its core, really starts with, you know, bringing Earth's resources to life. We are all tasked with the question of, you know, um, how do we really contribute to feeding a growing world population, and how we do that is by our core values, and that's having a passion for people, a spirit of innovation, and respect for our resources. So you know, everyone here at Simplot is very focused on that. You know, how do we sustainably feed a growing world population? So definitely, I think something that a lot of people can relate to and really get behind. Some of the history and some of the roots of where we come from. These are some pictures of our founder and kind of our namesake, JR. But he began growing his brand in the 1920s. He actually started, what did he do? He started selling pigs, actually. So it's kind of a random story how we got in there, but then just diversified and continued growing the agriculture company into, you know, the global company that we are today. So really, really humble roots from here, you know, here in Idaho, but definitely, you know, his entrepreneurial spirit is something that we try to keep alive in everything that we do. So today, if you've driven through downtown Boise, you'll see our building here, and here's a picture of it. It's kind of in the same campus as Jump, you might have seen, but we are an international company. Like I said, over 10,000 employees worldwide, and we really touch a lot of the inputs throughout the agriculture industry. So we start, you know, by mining that raw phosphate ore, manufacturing that into fertilizer, then selling that directly to, you know, farmers. We also farm and ranch ourselves, but then work with those farmers to procure their, you know, potatoes or other vegetable products to then process that into that final, you know, that final finished good, be it that French fry or, you know, other mixed veggie on your dinner plate. So really, like I said, very vertically integrated in all things agriculture. And this is just kind of a brief overview of each of those operations. So we have our agribusiness division is where we really mine and manufacture that that raw phosphate ore. We also have a land and livestock division where we, you know, have, you know, we take care of our animals. We invent new ways to I'm drawing a blank here, but invent new ways to you know, sustainably feed and grow them. We actually are pretty diversified in like our turf and pro products. And then we also have, you know, in terms of our kind of international arm, you know, as I mentioned, we have operations in Australia, Mexico, China, all around the world. And as you can see, very dedicated to, you know, sustainability and supporting our communities wherever we are, not only in Idaho, but in every community, supporting those communities. And I think that big one definitely speaks to our passion for people. It is one of our core values. and very, very committed to, not only our employees and ensuring that, they have the tools they need to be successful at work, but also successful at home, but then also supporting our local communities, be that through direct contributions, scholarships, our employees' involvement, just any way that we can kind of show that passion for people, we do. We're very involved with the Ronald McDonald Charities, Idaho Food Bank, and the Special Olympics. So here's a little brief video, just kind of overview of our company, and I'm hoping that this will share correctly. Let's see here.
See how good the internet is today.
I know, and my Zoom updated right before this, so I'm like I'm hoping that this works.
And if it doesn't, we'll certainly, share it out on our social handles every now and then. Again, when embedding in presentations seems to be sometimes of a hit and miss, which is totally fine. But it is a nice little 4-minute review of kind of who we are, how we invest in our communities, and showcases our culture a bit. So with that, I guess now is a easy progression to Lamar, who hopes to give maybe a good kind of context of the types of roles we're looking for today, sprinkled in a couple more that may look to Hallie Stapleton to provide some insight into at the bottom there. But Lamar, you want to go over maybe what your role is and some of the roles you're supporting?
For sure, and I'm going to have my video on just for this introduction phase, and then I'll turn it off just because my internet seems spotty when I do video for some odd reason. But my name is Lamar Berry. I've been with the company for 6 years now. I'm a talent partner, and I support Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Montana. I guess actually we don't have any locations in Utah anymore, but that would have been one of my locations. But I do have 3 locations in Oregon, and then I have 1 in Winnemucca, Nevada. And then I'm also supporting some hiring for Pasco, Washington as well right now. So I'm going to go through a few of the positions that we have available in the Idaho area. So let me go through these here. And I'm going to stop my video as I do this just so I don't cut in and out. All right. And then my notes may be a little bit out of order, but we can still kind of follow along there. So that cash receipts technician position, so really what that role is doing, they do a variety of clerical and administrative activities that just support the receipt processing and cash posting for the company. So the person in that role would be responding to inquiries and contacting other departments or vendors just to resolve a variety of problems, whether that be where to post cash that we've received and just figuring out what accounts things need to go to. And then the next role I have here is our operations support position in Caldwell. And what we're looking for this position is a Class A CDL driver who can haul fertilizer from our location there in Caldwell out to local farms. That would just be purchasing the fertilizer from that location, and then we'll provide that delivery for them. And then for our transportation coordinator, they would actually be sitting at our Caldwell location. So a little bit down the street from our Simplot Grower Solutions, we have a location that we call the Idaho plant. And what this person will do is kind of clerical work as well. They'd be scheduling and running system reports for any rail orders or scheduling rail cars for shipment of product to the plant. And they'd also be documenting what shipments have been coming in and what's going out via rail and truck as well. And then they do also some finalizing of all the shipping and rail truck orders in a homegrown system that we have there. And then I also have a truck driver for Hayburn. So this one's a little bit out of our area, but we're looking for a Class A CDL truck driver who will haul frozen or raw potatoes from either freezer storage locations or local farms around Idaho to our potato processing plant in Caldwell. So as I mentioned, this position would work out of Hayburn, but we're always on the lookout for truck drivers who could potentially work out of our Caldwell truck driving hub as well. And then we also have a HR business partner role. So the primary function of this position would be to have someone that's that business partner for a functional vice president. So this particular position is under our agribusiness. So this role would just be responsible for understanding the business objectives and being able to help build an actionable people strategy for that part of the business that they're supporting. And then we also have an accountant role. And what they're doing there is they're just completing a variety of accounting activities that include compilation, consolidation, and analysis of financial data. So performing ledger activities, including journal entries and account reconciliations. And they're also looking into some insights of why and how things are coming in the way they are. And then we're getting into a couple of new roles. So we have a senior manager of innovation and food application. So really what they're looking for in that role is someone who can build new capabilities by developing food applications for a wide range of platforms and ingredients, and enabling our new venture business to showcase our products and customer applications to drive growth, and doing that with new and existing customers. We also have an international tax accountant position. So that would be assisting in international and federal tax audits, performing international and federal tax research, and also assisting in preparation of foreign reporting for U.S. Consolidated income tax returns. And moving on down here. All right, another new role that we have is a marketing specialist. This position actually would be at our land and livestock division out in Caldwell. And so this role will be supporting the management of a particular category there, just to ensure that we're achieving relevant targets for profitability, growth, and innovation, just to build those brands and products up through our land and livestock division. And then we also have a senior marketing manager.
Perfect. And Lamar, I was just going to say, Hallie, feel free to, Hallie Stapleton, who's our senior talent researcher, supporting some of these senior marketing roles, as well as our kind of our digital footprint. So, so Lamar, feel free if you'd like to have Hallie provide some insight into those as well.
Yeah, these last few are the newer positions. So Hallie, if you do want to take those ones, that would be awesome.
Yeah, my name is Hallie Stapleton. I'm a talent researcher, and I work in coordination with the talent partners and filling roles. And I have been at Simplot for 4 years, but I think what excites me the most is the innovation within a nearly, 95-year-old company. There's always innovation and creativity. And so in-house in agribusiness, we have a senior marketing manager in agribusiness. The caveat there is the digital marketing experience, being an outstanding people leader, because they will have 4 direct reports. And then also in another area within Simplot is we have the need for software developers. That key skill with Sitecore or C# would be a heavy emphasis. Sometimes Sitecore could be a little hard to find. But with the right developer or the right key ingredients, would be willing to grow that developer in our business. Really exciting to see the digital business analyst position and the digital project manager also in global services. This has to do with instead of going outside of the company and having to outsource, we're bringing these creative people inside the business. And so the digital marketing is really key.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Hallie. Lauren, do you mind transitioning to the next slide? Perfect. So we did have a few questions that came up in kind of real time, which was nice, about some roles that they're seeing on the job posting website, which is careers.simplot.com. So we do have a kind of a structured recruitment process that has all applicants flow through our main ATS, which can be found at careers.simplot.com. This just gives you kind of a quick review of what you will need in terms of completing a profile or completing an application in the process. So we'll let let this sit on the page here for just a second, and then we'll transition to a few additional resources that, that exist. But feel free now at this point. We did want to open it up for roughly 8 to 10 minutes for questions, and we had answered a couple kind of real time. One was about a key account manager role that sits in Idaho, that supports one of our divisions, and that was answered to say it is still open. So if you do see active roles posted, definitely feel comfortable and confident to submit applications for that. And then if we want to transition to the next slide. Perfect. All right, so in terms of resources, so if you would like to learn more about Simplot, our career opportunities, see some interesting videos, there is a YouTube channel there. We do have a LinkedIn page where you can follow the company for news and updates. We also, as talent partners, try to do our best to share information and or tag the company handle in areas that we feel would be of interest. So would definitely recommend that. And then there is a Facebook page as well, specifically geared towards careers at Simplot, where we provide some pretty unique information either about our facilities and some kind of cultural or I guess you could say more people-oriented content. And then we have a talent community as well, which I'd also be more than happy to throw this over to Mallory Jones, someone that's supported quite a bit of our deployment of this. But mainly it's a nice feature that if, say, for today, you do go and visit our job page and you do not see any current postings, that you have the ability to sign up for essentially job alerts and be notified as roles do come open. So you don't have to continually navigate back to our careers page for new updates or new jobs. So at this point, happy to turn it over to Q&A. It looks like we've had a couple additional questions, and we'll let Mallory kind of facilitate from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bill. So one of the first questions, which I think is applicable for everybody, came from Steve, and I'd love for Lauren or Lamar, if you are able to answer. Could you tell us a little bit about the interview process at Simplot?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take that one, Mallory. Thank you. Yeah, so Steve, great question. After you've applied, your resume will go to one of the recruiters recruiting for whichever role it may be. After their review, they will reach out to you for a phone screen, and so typically then that phone screen is just a chance for us to get to kind of know you, share some details about the role, learn a little bit more about you and your background, and your interest and kind of fit for the role. From there, we typically move to in-person interviews, although given kind of recent world events, a lot of those have been virtual. And so I would definitely just continue, preparing for, virtual interviews. I think those will be kind of the norm for kind of the foreseeable future. But then from there, typically we have a pretty quick decision process. It definitely depends on the role that you apply for. It could be, one interview, or it could be, another one where maybe we want to bring you back and just have you, meet and chat with the team and who you would be working with. But we really want to make sure, our entire interview process is really designed not only for us to learn about you and your background, but for you to really learn about Simplot, learn who we are, and who you'll be working with, I think is a very important piece. And so we try to give you all of those pieces throughout the interview process. Lamar or anybody, did I miss anything? I hope that answered your question, Steve.
Yeah, I think that's a really good insight. And I mean, yeah, kind of bare bones, it's typically a panel format with, anywhere from, 2 to 4 individuals involved. And to Lauren's comment about, giving you that full view, it's, it could be a customer, it could be obviously your direct manager, it could be peers, but really to kind of give you a view into the role from all angles is kind of the intent there. And then Lauren, do you mind navigating back to the job opportunity slide? There was a request for that. But Lamar, any additional insights for you in terms of the interview process?
I think Lauren did a great job. As far as the interview process, yeah, really don't have any additional ads on that part.
Perfect. Easy enough. Back to Mallory.
Great. Thank you so much for the question, Steve. We really appreciate it. And then we also have another question similar in nature, just to how to apply for the job. So what would you guys recommend as the ideal job application format? So anything from summary, skills, how many jobs you include, etc.
Oh golly, that's a great question, Randall. Boy, I would say number one, it depends on the role that you're applying for, right? And so, definitely get a feel of that position. Is it if you're applying for, the truck driver role, obviously you'd want to outline, your certifications and your relevant experience there. If you're applying for, the cash receipts technician, definitely outlining, your skills as they kind of in your experience as it aligns with the skills called out um, on the job description. But in terms of just the format for our applications, and I don't want to speak for every recruiter on our team, but if you have a clear and concise resume, I think that's going to be the best kind of step forward there. And the more complete that your profile can be on our website really helps. So if you want to fill in some of that information, fill in, your past work history, call out maybe some of your major skills, that would be, or certifications, relevant certifications, things like that, that would be really helpful. But I would say the biggest thing is just really having a clear and concise resume that communicates those, those skills as it relates to the job description. Definitely calls attention to those. And then in terms of your last question, kind of only the last few jobs, etc. Your resume is something that is personal to you, and I think everybody has a different kind of way of doing things. But I think the more complete and the more information that you can provide, and like I said, as long as it is clear and concise, and I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but I think providing that complete information really does help our team really get a sense of who you are, because it is a difficult job, to have to review a resume and then from there make that decision to phone screen. So I would definitely ensure that your resume is putting that that step forward. And Randall, I saw your second question come through. Does the profile take precedence over the resume? I would say no, but it certainly helps. It certainly helps to kind of fill out that full application. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know, Bill, Hallie, Lamar, if you guys have anything to add.
The only thing I would probably add to that is on your resume, a lot of people have been moving away from doing cover letters. So if you have your resume, you still want to have a personal touch to it. Put an objective on there with what you'd like to do and kind of how your skills tie into the position. So obviously you're going to be doing that throughout your resume, but having a concise, like 3 to 5 sentence statement as an objective at the top of your resume, that helps bring things in as well.
Great call out, Lamar. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. And yeah, on the profile or resume, a clear and kind of thorough profile does show up in our internal sourcing efforts a little bit better. So I might recommend just to ensure that's kind of clear, and most aspects are duplicated. I know it's a lot. It's an ask when you say, hey, attach your resume, and then you have to put in all the information that is included in your resume. But no, there's typically intention with that. And I did see a question from Rick come in about software kind of developer internships, or are there more often junior developer roles? So just a quick answer there is our internship program kind of kicks off really at the fall semester from a recruitment standpoint. And then they kind of place potentially kind of late fall or into early spring, at least if you're local. And I think junior developer roles will likely be coming. There's been quite a bit of interest to grow a strong bench of talent within the organization, specifically within Simplot technology. So, so yeah, time frame fall, but then develop junior roles. I hope to see to come shortly. Then Mallory, maybe one last question.
Yes, we do have one last question from Daryl, and this might be a good question for Lamar. So do we have any exposure to locations in North Idaho, as most of the positions that they're seeing online are in Southern Idaho as well as Central Washington? Lamar, you are on mute if you were speaking to us.
Maybe he fell off.
Oh, he might be having some internet issues, but I think I can step in.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, he said his Zoom is frozen. So from my knowledge, we do not have any locations in North Idaho.
And I think I'm
We
back on.
have.
Can you guys?
Oh, there you are.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Lamar.
It was frozen. I couldn't get to unmute. So yeah, that's
No worries.
what happened there. As far as North Idaho goes, we do have a Jacqueline Seed location in Nez Perce. I don't really ever see openings come up for that one just because it is a fairly small location. But other than that, yeah, we do have some locations in Washington, and Lauren oversees the area in Washington, so you may have more insight on exactly where those locations fall.
Yeah, mainly through the Columbia Basin, but we also have locations, Lamar, don't we go through like Western Montana as well?
Yes, yep, yeah, so we do have some in Western Montana, Billings, and we also have Powell, Wyoming as well. So yeah, we're kind of in that region as well.
Yeah, but just not a ton in North Idaho. Sorry, Daryl.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of step in here. Thank you to Simplot. Do you guys have any final words to put on this? Unfortunately, our time is coming to an end for our session with Simplot, but Bill, do you guys have any final words to state?
Sure, I'll certainly open it up to the team, but just so everyone knows, we understand this is certainly a challenging time, and I think the kind of the terminology, get Idaho back to work is certainly something that we reflect, and something that we want to see people take on careers and roles within the organization that keep them here for a long time. So we just really appreciate your interest in listening to us kind of jabber on about everything we are very passionate about, and some roles and some progression within the organization that is really unique to this instance, and so we definitely appreciate it. But anyone else on the team, last words of wisdom or any?
Yeah, I would say if you have any questions, feel free to find any of us on LinkedIn and reach out. We're more than happy to help. As Bill said, we're a part of this community, and we definitely want to help this community thrive in any way. So even if it's not a role with Simplot, we'd love to help you in any way we can. So feel free to find us on LinkedIn and reach out.
Definitely, I second that.
Okay. Thank you very much, JR Simplot team, for your time today in participating in the virtual Idaho Job and Career Fair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, at this time, we will transition to our next company, TDS Fiber. And I just wanted to start off our next session first off by saying, again, thanks to JR Simplot for their sponsorship of this networking room. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to broadcast this event, and we are excited that we can still offer the job fair, even if it's virtually at this time. A couple of items to note: this networking room session will be recorded for later viewing. And then the job seekers do have access to ask questions at the or throughout the session, and then I will help monitor those questions for the TDS Fiber folks so that we can read those and take care of them by the end of the time. And then one last item is you can find the company contact information and how to apply out on our website. It's idahocareerfair.com, and you'll just select that button, participating companies, on the job fair page that you are on. And this time, we will turn it on over. I'd like to introduce you to Kelly and Courtney with TDS Fiber.
Thank you, Kelly. So I'm Kelly, and I'm a recruiter with TDS Telecom, and then Courtney, also a recruiter with TDS Telecom, and we sit, well, not currently, but typically we sit in our Madison, Wisconsin office, our telecom headquarters, and we recruit nationwide for various positions related to TDS's operations. So I specifically specialize in recruiting for our field services divisions throughout the U.S. And then Courtney specializes in sales. We have a large team, and each recruiter specializes in a little something different. So it allows us to be experts in our fields, and then most effectively recruit that way. So TDS is a telecommunications organization, and we support both residential and commercial consumers nationwide, providing voice, internet, and TV solutions. We're really excited to be here today, particularly in Idaho, being that Idaho is what we refer to internally at TDS as one of our Viking markets. And to explain a little bit more about what that is, TDS is a pretty large organization, and we have a lot of smaller telecommunication companies that we have acquired over the course of our tenure as a company. And Viking markets are unique in that they are actually brand new builds that TDS does independently of acquiring any other smaller company. So our first Viking project was not too long ago here in the greater Madison area, and we've expanded to multiple locations across the country, Idaho, specifically Coeur d'Alene and Meridian, being two of those new locations where we have done brand new all fiber builds and come into a brand new market. So it's a really exciting time to join TDS, specifically within the state of Idaho. And then we are also expanding to Spokane, Washington, which I know is just a stone's throw away from Coeur d'Alene as well. So within those markets, we're recruiting for several different positions related to sales, retail, and network services, which are classified more specifically as engineering roles. So within our retail store space, we're hiring for a consumer specialist. And in this particular role, you'd be supporting customers both face-to-face and via phone. These customers are often coming in or calling in to inquire about our products and services or to potentially upgrade their current services. It's a bit of a hybrid role in that you are engaging in both face-to-face and phone customer contact. This does require the ability to balance both types of those interactions effectively. And typically engagement via phone outweighs the face-to-face. And another large portion of the phone engagement is working to retain customers. So with that comes some inevitable difficult conversations, need to be resilient and very positive while working with those customers to hopefully retain them and hang on to them as TDS customers. As well, we're also hiring a network specialist within one of our engineering groups. And a suitable candidate for this role would have experience related to construction project management, as this team is responsible for the design of our fiber optic maps and builds. So in the beginning stages of the process of entering a new market, our engineering teams is one of the first groups to kind of go into that market to map out exactly when, where, and how we can implement those brand new fiber networks into the community. As well, any GIS mapping experience is a great tool to have for a candidate, but it isn't a requirement in this role. And Courtney will share some additional positions that we have available, but If you're interested in applying, you can visit our TDS Telecom Careers page. Any position that we're actively recruiting for throughout the country, no matter the business unit, will be available. You can sort by job categories or locations. And then if you have questions, you can always feel free to reach out to Courtney or myself. And if it's not a position that we are specifically recruiting for, we will match you up with that recruiter to answer any questions that you might have.
All right. So as Kelly mentioned, my name is Courtney Robinson, and I'm also a recruiter at TDS Telecom. And the business unit that I support is our door-to-door group. So when you think of door-to-door, think of the people who are actually out in the community, interacting with potential customers and getting them excited about all things TDS. So for this unit, the two main positions that I'm hiring for across the country, but definitely also in Idaho, would be our outside residential sales rep role and then our supervisor of direct sales. So I'm going to go a little bit into both of those positions. Again, guys, if you do have any questions for us while we're talking about any of the positions that we're discussing, go ahead and put some of those questions in the comment section. But first off, the first position I'm going to be talking to you guys about is our direct sales representative role. So you'll hear me say direct sales representative and outside residential sales rep role interchangeably, but they're basically the same thing. So what you can expect in this position is it is a outside sales role. So you would be given a territory that you're in charge of. You would be traveling over to that territory, knocking on the doors in the houses in that area, and just having conversations with customers. You'll be telling them about TDS, our TV, phone, and internet services, and then hopefully you'll be able to bring them on as a client or as a customer. So once you do bring them on as a customer, you are really acting as that point of contact for them, answering any sort of questions, comments, or concerns that they might have from the initial sale all the way up into installation. And then you guys also would be working very closely with our marketing team as well. So typically our marketing and our sales team will attend different community events like fairs or parades where they'll get to interact with community members just in the hopes of getting our company out there, interacting with customers, and then hopefully turning some of those people into customers as well. So that's kind of what you can expect in this position. It's a true outside sales role. It's definitely not for people who are looking to sit in office setting or sit at desk all the time. These are the people who are going to be out there interacting with customers. So in terms of the required qualifications that we have for this position, we are looking for people with at least 6 months of sales or customer service experience. And then you would also have to have the ability to obtain any sort of licenses that might be required by that state. And then also the ability to have reliable transportation. So we're not saying that you have to have a car or anything, but you have to have some sort of reliable transportation in order to get to your assigned territory. So that's what you're kind of looking at in that outside residential sales rep role / direct sales representative position. And then the other position that we do have available is our supervisor of direct sales. So this is a supervisory position, as you can imagine. And with this position, you are basically in charge of a group of those outside residential sales members. So your main responsibilities would be helping with the hiring processes. So you would be sitting in, conducting interviews, trying to find that next best direct salesperson. And then you'd also would be motivating them to achieve their goals and then evaluating and seeing how they're doing and looking for areas of improvements as well. So with this role, you would also be doing some cold calling and identifying leads as well. So it's definitely still involved with sales, but more with the supervisory side of things added onto that. So those are the two main positions that I'm looking for right now. They are both available for the Meridian, Boise area. If you are someone who enjoys sales, who enjoys interacting with people, going outside, or you enjoy motivating a team, these are definitely two positions that you'll want to look into. And then again, it's available in Idaho, but we do have openings in other states as well. So those are the two main positions that I am recruiting for at the moment. So let's see if we have any questions.
Yes, I'm going to read off a couple of questions. This one has several questions within it, so I'll read the first couple and then we can continue. How long is the door-to-door position viable? And then do you foresee saturation after time?
Yeah, so that is a really great question. So our door-to-door position is available all year round. We are located in different areas. So if it's rain or snow, you're still expected to go out and interact with the different customers, potential customers in their area. And then we haven't had any issues with saturations, but I'm guessing that they would reassign territories if they did notice that those areas are saturated. So if you're knocking on doors and you're saying, hey, I'm not getting the number of customers or the number of sales that I'm looking to get, then we will also encourage you to go out in the communities and make sure you're networking with people and see if you can get any customer referrals or any introductions to other people in the community who might be interested in fiber as well.
Okay, thank you. That did answer his additional question on that as well. Another question is, any remote customer service type jobs?
So in terms of remote capabilities, obviously with the current state of the nation, if you will, everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone, a large majority of our workforce is currently working remotely. In a normal scenario, typically the customer service roles that sit within a call center or are potentially face-to-face would require that you are on site. Now, we do have flexibility with, once you are trained in your role and have some experience in your role, being able to transition to a work from home state. But to, I guess, simply answer your question, you would need to be in the office for at least the training period, and then the first chunk of time, which varies by person, to get comfortable in your role before you'd be able to transition remote.
Okay, thank you. And another specific question, as a recent aerospace engineering graduate, I am looking to branch out into other forms of engineering, and I'm wondering if the OSP engineering position that's open here in Boise is considered entry level. And then also on that note, are there internship opportunities in the Boise area?
Great question. So to answer really quickly the internship question, unfortunately, no. Right now, our internship program is pretty confined to the Madison area. We're still honestly in the beginning stages of building a well-organized and well-defined internship program. So we're pretty confined right now, but we do have hopes to expand that in the future. Regarding the OSP engineering position, so one of the great things that we have the capability to do is to hire at multiple levels. So with a lot of the roles that we hire for at TDS, we might have a junior level or a senior level, or even as expansive as a level 1, 2, 3, 4. So in terms of what levels we could hire at, of course, it never hurts to apply. It really depends on what type of candidate pool we get within a specific requisition, to kind of dictate what level we're setting that bar at for the types of candidates that we're moving forward with in the process. So it never hurts to apply. I would love to have you reach out to Jenny, who is our network services recruiter, and she can chat with you a little bit more about some of the requirements of that role and what they're looking for. And if that's not a good fit, potentially continue to just network with her for any future opportunities, or she may, have something coming down the pipeline that would be a good fit for you as well.
Okay, another question, are software engineer roles working remotely?
That's a good question. Like I said, I know a large portion of our workforce is at home, and I think that kind of the deciding factor is if it's not 100% necessary for you to be in the office right now, then you're not. And then we're starting a slow wave of return to the office more toward Labor Day, I think, with changes every day. In terms of permanent capability to work from home, again, I think that's one of those positions that you do need to be in the office, at least while you're training and kind of getting your feet underneath you in the role. And then we don't really have any positions other than probably like door-to-door or things that require you to be face-to-face, that it wouldn't be, an ultimate no when it comes to possibility to transition to a work from home type situation. So we have a lot of flexibility with a lot of different roles. Most of them are going to require that you're in the office, at least in the beginning, and then, you know, with opportunities to potentially transfer to work from home.
Okay, another question. This is directed from David to Courtney. I have tons of sales leadership experience and have applied into the website. However, looking for part-time opportunities. Are there any part-time opportunities there?
That is great. So we do have one part-time position available, but it's not in Idaho. So that position is in Bend, Oregon. So if you're interested in relocating, definitely might be something that you want to consider. But at the moment, we do not have any part-time sales roles available in Idaho at the moment.
Okay, and then is there any data engineering or database administration roles?
Not currently in the Idaho area. If you're checking the website and not seeing anything, likely that means that there's not. I would recommend that you follow TDS Telecommunications LLC on LinkedIn. We do have all of our open positions posted there as well. We do regular job of the week highlights to share any positions that we're kind of spotlighting. And then just continue to review the website. If it's something that we're actively recruiting for, it will be posted there. And then, you know, we can share contact information too, so you can feel free to engage and network with any of the recruiters on our team.
Okay, and then do you see more engineering or more openings in field technical positions opening up this year?
Yeah, definitely. So like I explained at the beginning of our call, we are growing in the Idaho markets. With it being our Viking markets, we're really in the beginning stages still. I just started our field services team, and our engineering teams just started like within a year. So definitely growth opportunity there. We just finished, or are, I should say, wrapping up the final stages of hiring a group of technicians to join us in mid-July. But again, we're always growing, so there's definitely going to continue to be opportunity there.
Okay, at this time, we don't have any more questions, so I just want to make sure if anybody has additional questions for TDS Fiber, please type those into the question and answer, or the question and Q&A function.
And Kelly, we don't have a specific slide with contact information or anything on it, so I don't know if we just want to, I can tell you how to spell like Jenny's last name if people want to connect with her on LinkedIn. Her last name is Weina, and it's W-E-I-N-A. And her first name is Jenny. I think it's Jenny or Jen on LinkedIn, but Weina, you should be able to find her. My last name is Anderberg. Courtney's last name is Robinson. Feel free to connect with any of us. You'll see other team members once you connect with us. It'll suggest that you connect with everybody else on our team, I'm sure. So you can definitely feel free, shoot us a message. We can give you our emails via LinkedIn, anything like that.
Thank you, Kelly, for that. Okay. At this time, we don't have any additional questions, but we still have about 5 more minutes, just over 5 minutes in your room. So any other information, tidbits about TDS Fiber, maybe possibly kind of talk about the environment, what the culture and what it's like to work at TDS?
Sure. So the culture nationwide, you know, is one thing. Obviously, it varies team to team. It varies location to location. So it really depends on the area that you're in. But especially within our Idaho markets, it's a very welcoming, inclusive culture. Everybody that's on board with us in those Viking markets is so excited and motivated by growth, and loving to see the things that we're doing. The response to us coming to these new communities has been extremely positive, which is also very motivating. So yeah, absolutely. It's a welcoming culture, brand new teams, lots of growth opportunity.
Yes, and I would just like to piggyback off of that. As Kelly mentioned, lots of growth opportunity as well, especially on the sales team as well. We're building teams from the ground up. So we're going to have a lot of other positions that we're going to have to fill down the line. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is that despite everything that's going on with COVID-19, our sales team has been back out in the field getting ready across the country to go door to door. And the month of June has been very successful for us, which has been very exciting. So in terms of some of the precautions that we are taking as a company just to keep our sales folks safe, as well as our customers safe, we do provide all of them with all types of PPE. So gloves, we actually give them goggles, face masks, they even have a hard hat. So they just have all different types of PPE to keep them safe and protected. And we also do utilize that 6 feet of social distancing as well when we're interacting with customers. They're constantly wiping down their tablets with wipes just to make sure that's clear and good to go as well. And then we also utilize a tracking device as well. So if something were to happen or if one of our reps were to get sick, we know exactly what houses or what areas they travel to and who we would need to contact from there as well. So we've definitely been taking a very forward and cautious approach as we enter back into doing door-to-door and interacting with customers as well, because our employees and our customers are very important to us also.
Thank you for that, Courtney. Another question, do you know about, or do you know anything about expanding into Nampa, Idaho?
I'm not familiar with where exactly that is. Is that like close by Coeur d'Alene or Meridian?
It is, yep, just the other city on the other side of Meridian.
Okay, good to know. So essentially how we kind of target where we go, we will start with one kind of centralized build. So in this example, that being Meridian. And then as that continues to grow, we will start to extend those fiber builds out into some of the outlying communities. So for example, our first fiber build here under our Viking project was in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, which is a kind of rural community of Madison. That's been successful and up and functioning for over a year now. So now we are expanding into 4 or 5 bordering communities from Sun Prairie. So likely that will be the same case with both Coeur d'Alene and Meridian. Is that we'll start to kind of trickle into some of those bordering communities. I don't know specifically about Nampa, but if it's close by, then likely within, I would say probably the next couple of years, we would be targeting an area that's either directly there or close to there.
And also to piggyback off of that, we are known at TDS for servicing a lot of those rural and suburban areas. That's where our niche is. So depending again on how things are going, as we start interacting with customers, then we're really hoping that we can expand out to more suburban and rural areas.
Okay, and just to cover the question, we had another one. You kind of covered it towards the Nampa area. So Boise's just on the other side, opposite side of Meridian. What about sales trainers positions and then in the Boise area?
Yep, so our supervisor for direct sales is available for Boise as well. So if you're interested, please apply.
And just to clarify, we don't have like specific training roles. When it comes to sales, it's those leadership positions are responsible for training their staff and groups. So as far as training, if you're interested in like a sales training role, you'd be looking at a sales leadership position.
Okay, we got 2 minutes left. So if anybody has an additional question, please type that into the Q&A. And while we hold for that as well, do you guys want to just repeat how to apply so folks out there know how to reach you?
Sure. So again, all of our open positions are on our careers page, tdstelecom.com/careers. Another great place to connect with us is on LinkedIn. Jenny Wayna is our network services, so our engineering recruiter, and her last name is Weina. I specialize in field services, Courtney in sales, and then we have other team members that specialize in some different areas, but feel free to connect with any of us on LinkedIn, view our careers page, and then we can get you engaged with any other recruiters on our team if they specialize in an area that's different from our area of expertise.
All right, thank you, Kelly and Courtney, for your time today, and TDS Fiber for your support of the virtual job fair and sponsorship of the main stage we held before this. We appreciate your time.
All right,
Thank you, Kelly, for having us.
Yes. All right, at this time, we will transition into our next room here. We'll get Saltzer Home Health set up real quick. And before we start off with that, I do want to just, for any new folks that are entering into our room at this time, just cover a couple of housekeeping items. First, thanks for joining us at the virtual Idaho Job and Career Fair. We're excited to host this event so that we can still connect the companies with job seekers out in our community. And we would like to thank JR Simplot for their sponsorship of the networking room. And without their support, we wouldn't be able to get this event broadcasted. A couple of items to note: this room will be recorded, so it'll be viewable at a later time. And then job seekers do have access to ask questions by using the Q&A function at the bottom or top of your Zoom screen. And I will help assist or company representatives will answer those questions as time allows. And then you can find the company contact information out on our website, idahocareerfair.com. And that is listed under the participating companies button there on your virtual job fair page, web page. And so at this time, I will introduce Nicole with Saltzer Home Health.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I do have a PowerPoint and a short video that I'm going to include as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Please let me know if you have any issues viewing what comes up. All right. Do you see my PowerPoint, Kelly?
Yes, I can. If you want to just expand that slide.
I sure do. Let's see. Come on. So I need to make sure that my computer audio is on here also.
Perfect.
And Andy, can you mute your mic? Oh, perfect. Okay. Great. Come on.
There we go.
All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. But my name is Nicole Claiborne. I am the Executive Director with Saltzer Home Healthcare. And we are a medical and non-medical home care company. We provide services in our clients' homes, such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, skilled nursing, wound care, and also we assist all of our clients with their activities of daily living on the non-medical side. So we help them with bathing, dressing, meal preparation, and much more. Today I'm going to go over a few job functions and responsibilities of the positions that we have offered at this time, position and the qualifications, and then also any benefits that we have. So first I'll go over caregiver job duties. A lot of people are not familiar with non-medical home care services or even the medical services that are available to participants in their home. Caregivers aid the client with activities of daily living. So the best way that I can describe that is services that you do for yourself on a daily basis are the services that we help our clients with. So when you get up and you get dressed for the day, showered for the day, brush your teeth, Those are all types of things that our caregivers help our clients with. Services vary depending on the needs of the client, and training is also provided to the staff depending on the level of their experience. We also assist with grocery shopping, laundry services, any transportation out into the community that the client may need, and light housekeeping. And then any other duties that are assigned or listed in the care plan, which is developed by a nurse. We do have nursing services as well for adults and pediatric cases. And some of those services include completing client assessments at each shift, evaluating client and family needs as changes occur, and then reporting that to the office as appropriate, assisting clients with any trach care, trach suctioning, oxygen administration, CPT, nebulizer treatments, airway maintenance, and oxygen saturation monitoring, and also much more. Again, training is included. It's just a part of what we do here at Saltzer Home Health. Our nurse can go out and train on site with the patient, and then also here in our office. So if any of the duties I'm going over seem a little scary or something that you're uncomfortable providing, or maybe you're a nurse and you've never provided trach care before, our nurse can help with that. And even if you're a caregiver and you've never helped bathe someone, our nurse can come out and train you how to do that as well. Some of our requirements include providing personal care services and/or the nursing to the vulnerable population. You must be 18 years of age or older and also have a high school diploma or degree. Must pass the Idaho State Matrix exam. We just ask that you have empathy for the ill, frail, or impaired. Be responsible, have good time management and great communication skills. Be a licensed driver with a clean auto record and be insured. Pass a criminal background check. And then also, if you are interested in any of the nursing services, also have a current license for an RN or an LPN. We are currently hiring for a few different positions. We're hiring for an on-call PRN position. So if you're just looking for some extra hours to supplement a current position that you already have, and you want evenings, overnights, or on the weekends, we can accommodate that. We are also looking for evening shifts, which can be after 5 p.m. all the way through midnight. Weekend shifts are also available. And then we also have positions in Nampa, Meridian, Eagle, Wilder, Caldwell, and Boise. So we have quite a few options depending on what area you're interested in working in and then the hours that you'd like. What kind of makes Saltzer different? We really allow our staff to create their own schedule. So anyone who wants to be hired on with us can tell us what works best for their current schedule, and we find clients that work within that schedule. As I mentioned on the last slide, we have full-time positions available, part-time positions available, and again, that on-call PRN work available. And then number 3, just the ability to help others and make a difference. Being a part of the healthcare industry, I think, is really important, especially right now. Being able to bridge the gap between hospital admissions and facility type of placement is really important. Any client or person, just in general, I know I would, prefers to be at home, especially when you're ill. And so allowing our clients and our patients to do that is really important. And so being able to be a part of that, whether you're a caregiver or a nurse, I think is something to be proud of. Our benefits, we include medical, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k, which includes matching for all full-time staff. Waiting periods may apply depending on the position, but going back to the previous slide, that is something that really sets us apart as well. A lot of, something that we do that we're very proud of as a home care agency is that we offer those benefits to our caregivers and to our nurses, that they're able to take time off and get paid for that time off and still have the benefits of a 401k, but be able to provide the services to the patients in the home. And then also we offer continued education, training, as I've mentioned already, and then just multiple job opportunities for movement and growth within the company. Because we have the medical side of our business, if someone was interested in starting as a caregiver and wanted to grow with us and go to nursing school and become a CNA or become an RN or an LPN, really the options are limitless. We can help you We've helped a caregiver before go through CNA school who was interested in doing that. So help you kind of further your education. And then once you obtain that degree, have employment with us. Our vision is just to help the community, whether it's helping the family and then also helping the client themselves with support, making sure that they're able to live as independently as possible in their home. Also to help our employee. We want to offer personal growth and professional growth in any way that we can. And then our vision for the future is just be the #1 healthcare industry. We know that it's growing and ever evolving. We really are focused on patient-centered care, and we just want to continue that. And one of the sayings is that health, that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. So I've included just some of our information, our website here, where you can learn a little bit more about us, about the services that we offer and those who work for us. Our phone number is listed here. And then also a quick link to apply to our services. If you look us up on Saltzer, hh.clearcareonline.com/quick apply, you'll be able to access our application there.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. At this time, we don't have any questions, but I just wanted to reach out. If any folks out there have questions, please type that in the Q&A function below, and Nicole and Andrea can cover those.
And I do just have a short video that I wanted to share. Kelly, can you see that video?
Not at this time, it's still on your presentation slide.
Oh, okay, let's see. I'm going to stop share, then I'm going to share again here. How about now?
Yes.
Perfect. So this is just one of our current CNAs who works for us. We asked her if she would be willing to do a short video talking about her employment with us and what she enjoys about working for Saltzer Home Health. So I'll go ahead and play it now. I did share the sound on my computer, so let's hope that works here. Okay, so yeah, and as Kinsey kind of highlighted on was just, again, that schedule flexibility. She is still in school, and as a CNA, she'll reach out to us and say, hey, my school schedule has changed this quarter. I actually am now available for these times, and then we're able to accommodate that schedule change for her. And so it actually works really nicely if you're going to school, or again, as I mentioned earlier, if you have other employment, we're able to work around those schedules and really find you the client that fits best with your needs. See, any questions yet, Andy? Awesome. I'll go into a few other types of clients that we service. We have a pretty wide range. It can be all the way up to being discharged out of the hospital and only being a few days old, all the way up into geriatrics, so 100 years old or older. And we provide services to children with disabilities, the adults with disabilities, and then if they have any physical limitations as well. Yeah, we have a care coordinator, Andy, She specializes in our kid cases and oversees those children cases. So if you're interested in working with kids or having any additional training, we do that training for the children if that's something that you're interested in. And then also our other care coordinator works with our veteran population. And we do help with the veterans as well if that's something that you're interested in working in or a direction that you'd like to take. Let me just go back through. Oh, there we go. Doesn't look like we still have any questions.
Nicole, could you speak a little bit on how your companies responded with COVID and safety measures for employees and clients that you guys have?
Yeah, absolutely. We do, I think, like any other medical professional, we take it very seriously, but not only for our clients, but for our caregivers. And so we do require that all of our staff wear masks out with our clients' homes and that they are following universal precautions, washing their hands, making sure that they're using gloves when necessary. And we do screen our clients and our caregivers at this time, making sure that they're not showing any signs or symptoms of COVID-19, just to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. Another thing that our agency has actually done, which I am very proud of, is if any of our staff are actually infected with the coronavirus, we pay them for their time off, which I've heard is very rare. So I was very proud of the company when I heard that was something that they were willing to do for our employees. So we value our employees. We want to make sure that they're taken care of. And even if they haven't accrued PTO yet or have any paid time off available, whether they're full-time or part-time, if they have the coronavirus, that's something that our company is going to pay them and make sure that they're taken care of while they're out. But yeah, that was a good question. Thank you, Kelly.
And another item, Nicole, if you could cover the application process. So what happens, how a job seeker needs to apply, and then the steps from your contacts through interviews and such. Go.
Perfect, yeah. So our application is available online. It's a very simple, easy process. I'd say probably within a couple of hours of after filling out an application, if you've done it in the evening time, we're going to reach out to you first thing in the morning. We'll be reaching out to you, making contact, scheduling an interview time that works best for the applicant. Our HR will schedule that interview as soon as possible. We like to do same day interviews, but really it's just kind of dependent on the schedule that works best for the applicant. And we, depending on how quickly the applicant wants to move, we can hire as soon as the next day to the day after or the following week. We really try to be quick with our training process and our hiring process just to get someone so that they can get employment as soon as possible if that's something they're looking for, and just start that training, because we do have a pretty extensive training that they'll have to go through. But again, we pay for that. The background checks we pay for. If they have to get a TB done, we do that here in the office. So we make sure that there's very little out-of-pocket expense for the employee. Any of that training or any of the requirements for the staff is something that our company pays for them.
All right, do we have any questions from our job seekers?
I don't think so. Andy, any questions?
No.
And then Nicole, do you want to either pull up or go over the contact information, that slide that you had, so our job seekers attending now and in the future will see that?
Absolutely. Let me pull that up again. Share my screen here. So here's our contact information. Again, our phone number is 208-506-0000. 7220. The website is saltzerhomehealth.com. And the application can be found at saltzerhh.clearcareonline.com/quick-apply.
Okay, and then we've got a few new job seekers that have entered the room. For those that have entered, we have any specific questions for Nicole at Saltzer Home Health?
Yeah, so for those who entered too, while we're waiting for questions, I'll just do a brief overview of kind of what I went over before. We are a medical and non-medical home care company. We're hiring right now for caregivers, CNAs, LPNs, RNs, physical therapists, occupational therapists. We currently, just some of the job duties that a caregiver will help with is activities of daily living for our clients in the comfort of their home. Those can include bathing, dressing, toileting, mobility, transfer assistance, meals and eating. And also we help with grocery shopping, laundry, transportation, and light housework. We pay for all of the training. So if this is something you're interested in, but maybe you've never done caregiving before, feel free to reach out to us. We will pay for that training for you. And then any of the requirements that are needed for employment, we cover that as well. Some of the requirements must be 18 years of age or older and have a high school, be a high school graduate, pass the Idaho State Matrix exam. And again, that course is something that our agency pays for. Be responsible, have good time management and great communication skills. Be a licensed driver with a clean auto record and have insurance. Pass a criminal background check. And then for any of our nursing services, just make sure that you have a current state license. We are opening, we have openings right now for on-call or PRN positions, evening shifts, weekend shifts, and in pretty much any city in the Treasure Valley. We're hiring in Nampa, Meridian, Eagle, Wilder, Caldwell, and Boise. And I'll just go over a few benefits again really quickly, but just one of those benefits is that you're able to create your own schedule and the ability to help others and make a difference out in the community. We also have medical, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k, which includes matching for all of our full-time staff. And we offer that continued education, training, and there's multiple job opportunities to move forward and progress within the company. Any questions?
Questions at this time. Nicole, you've done a great job of explaining everything. Is there any just general company information you'd like to share about Saltzer and history or growth or where you guys are kind of moving towards?
Sure. Yeah. So our home health and home care company, we've been open for a little over a year. We actually wanted to open up because we wanted a company that kind of offered that continuum of care all the way from, hospital to home. So the Saltzer clinics, we work very closely with them. And then again, we have the medical services in the home as well as the non-medical services. And hopefully soon we'll be joining hospice and being able to offer that to our clients and offer more opportunity for staff as well, if that's something that they're interested in. But we just really wanted to offer that full continuum of care to the community. A lot of other agencies in the Valley, not all of them offer all of those services under one roof. So if you need skilled nursing, you're using one company. If you need caregiving services, you're using another. And so our goal was to make it as easy for the patient as possible.
Great, thank you for that. And to our job seekers, any specific questions for Nicole?
The no questions are easy.
All right, we can stay on. We've got about 4 more minutes. Any other points you'd like to discuss, or we can hold on if there's any job seekers that have questions?
I don't think so. Andy, is there anything that you'd like to mention as a care coordinator?
I don't know if we want to just talk about what our pay range is, but I mean, I don't know for RN, so.
Yeah, the pay rate, she was asking about pay range, and it definitely varies depending on the position that the applicant's interested in and depends on experience. For the caregiving services, we're anywhere between $10 to $12 an hour, again, just depending on experience. If it's a CNA, the wages are higher depending on how long they've had their CNA license and experience. And then for our nursing, we're anywhere between $21 to $28 an hour, depending on whether you're an LPN or an RN. Therapy rates are higher, and that is something that we can talk about upon time or during the interview.
Great. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Andrea, for your time today. We appreciate you coming out for the virtual job fair. And folks can view this information. If you need to refer back to the details that Nicole's provided, it will be on our website at idahocareerfair.com. So you can go to that space and evaluate those notes and details for employment at Saltzer Home Health. And we appreciate your time, Nicole and Andrea. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate it.
At this time, we will just hold for a few minutes, and we will get our next company back in to this room and get started with Jobu Jobs. So if you don't mind holding 1 minute, we will get them in here and get started. We have Kate and Marley that will be joining us from Jobu Jobs. And there we go. Get them in here. And then just to kind of start off with, we will go over some housekeeping items and give a little bit of time for our job seekers to enter in the room upon 2:30. Okay. Hello, Kate. Hello, Marley. How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Just to start off with, for those guests that are entering the room, we'd thank you for joining us for the virtual Idaho Job and Career Fair. We are excited to offer this job fair virtually so that we can get our job seekers connected with the companies that are hiring here. A couple of items to note: that this virtual room will be recorded, so it'll be available for viewing at a later time. And then job seekers do have access to type in questions using the Q&A function on your screen. So feel free to ask those questions, and then we'll get those addressed by the end of this session. One thing to note, that for company contact information, you can go to idahocareerfair.com. And those company contact notes and descriptions are located under the participating companies button there on the virtual job page that you're watching. So at this time, I will turn it on over to Kate and Marley, and we're just a couple minutes early. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves and then kind of get into the bulk of your information in a couple of minutes, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, well, I guess I will start. We work for technically then 3 companies. I know you guys know Jobu Jobs. Our other 2 are Talent Fill and Ataraxis PEO. So we are the HR and recruiting leg of all of your job needs. So Marley and I actually represent together quite a few different companies. So we have quite a few different jobs to tell you all about. Marley, would you like to go first?
Yeah, so my name is Marley. I mostly do the light industrial recruiting over here with the companies. And the one that I'm working on currently, one of the big ones, is Autovol. Autovol is a really awesome company. They are building affordable modular housing that will be shipped off to places like California using the latest and greatest in automation technology. So like the same machines that they use for the car industry with the robotics, we use those same machines to build these really cool modular homes, apartments, that is. And we're looking for various roles right now. Currently, we're looking for drywall specialists. We're looking for exteriors, interior cabinet trim, and general labor, apprentice plumbers and apprentice electricians. We're looking for a wide variety of roles right now. So yeah, if you could read a tape measure to 1/16 of an inch and know how to use hand or power tools, shoot me an email with just your name, and I'll be in touch with you when it comes to Audible.
That's great. I'd also like to add there are permanent opportunities, so you can go through the interview process and Marley will help you out with that. Or we also have temporary to hire, which means you can start immediately. It's a great way to get in the door, jump over the interview process, get involved in the Autovol environment. And then within just a couple of weeks, if you decide it's a really cool place to be, and if they think, hey, this person has great skills, you can become a permanent employee with all the benefits that go with that.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
So then Marley, can you tell them more about some of the benefits, what the environment is like, those types of things?
Yeah, so with most construction jobs, you're outside in the 90+ degree weather, sun beating down on you, but for Audible, you are in a giant warehouse that's air conditioned. It's really nice. It feels good. The environment's really nice. They're really fun. They like to do little events for their staff and just really get together. Their break room is so nice. They have this wall of machines that you can get snacks and stuff out of. It's really cool. The team is very family friendly. There's a really good work-life balance there. They really just want to make sure that you feel welcome and that it's a great environment for you to work in. As for the technology though, the technology is so cool. When you walk through the plant and you see a lot of these robotic arms, I've never seen anything like it. And it's really cool. Super excited for it to be fully up and going. Right now we have about 40 people working there. And we're hoping that within about the next year that we'll have 300 people there. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth with the company, as well as individual growth there. So yeah, send me your resumes and we can start talking about opportunities with Audible. Also later on in the future, soon, we will also have machine maintenance and machine operator positions available, which is, there's going to be quite a lot of room for people at Audible. So just send me your resumes or just reach out to me and we can figure it out from there.
Perfect. Do we have any questions at this time related to the light industrial or Audible type jobs?
I don't see any questions popping up right now for that. And Marley, do you just want to provide how they can contact you in a way?
Yes, go ahead and send an email to recruiting@ataraxispeo.com. You don't necessarily have to send your resume. I'd love it if you could. But if you can just send like, hey, I'm interested, we can go ahead and begin the conversation from there. Or you can give me a call at 208-949-2955. We have a really easy application to fill out. Just reach out to me.
Perfect. So now on to some of our other clients. Like we said, Marley and I represent a lot of different people with a ton of hiring needs. One of them is our own internal needs. So for Ataraxis, we are looking for you know everything. So we are an HR company, first of all, and we are an HR company that outsources. We allow other companies to outsource their HR needs. So we strive to be their partner. We want to be their business partner to help them succeed. So, you know, we're more than just the HR people down the hall. We want to help them grow. We want to be a part of everything, which means our team needs to keep growing. So we're looking for a sales manager, sales assistant, a front desk receptionist, and that person is involved with every single team, you know, we're everything from benefits to payroll, whatnot. We are also looking for a benefits person, as well as a placement coordinator assistant. We need somebody to help Marley and I out because we have a lot going on and it's getting exciting. We are looking for a sales account manager for another one of our positions, all sorts of things. And then on top of that, we have a few sister companies or local companies. So one of our sister companies is TrueCare. They are trying to disrupt the health industry. They want to create cost transparency, you know, ownership of records. So TrueCare is an app that is trying to do all this, and they're brand new. They're in the startup phase. So we are looking for a couple senior software engineers, as well as a software developer, a customer service representative who can translate what people are saying, you know, what their needs are, and then get that to our developers and vice versa. So get that communication going, as well as an accounts receivable / payable person for that department, because it is membership based. So we need somebody to stay on top of the finances for that. So that is our sister company, TrueCare. Another one we're looking for is EuroShack. So we need a district manager to manage all of the EuroShack locations within this region. And then on top of that, we have Saltzer Health. So they, as you probably have seen or have noticed, are growing all over the community. We have so many positions coming up for them: CMAs, part-time and full-time radiologic technologists, part-time and full-time registered nurses, a medical assistant for the ENT department, CSRs, and then as well as other bigger positions coming up in the near future. Director of Nursing, Certified Athletic Trainer, Supply Chain Manager, Director of Patient Access, Director of Rehabilitation, and then even smaller, more temporary positions like phlebotomists, you know, with everything going on with COVID-19. Do we have any questions yet? I can elaborate on any of these. I know I just threw a ton out there. Please let me know.
No questions at this time, but Kate, that's great because there's a variety of job seekers out there, so one of these may apply to them.
Absolutely. Would you like then, Kelly, for me to just describe some of those a little bit, or? Because I mean, I think there's like 22 positions that I just rattled off.
Yeah, I would maybe select a few featured job positions that you guys are hiring, you know, wanting to fill quickly, and providing that, and then also how to apply for them.
Absolutely. So first off, to apply, same thing as Marley, because he and I are about 8 feet from each other. You can either email at recruiting@ataraxispeo.com, or you can call us at 208-949-2955, and I can say that number again later. Like I said, Marley and I are handling lots of hiring needs for all sorts of people. So just to expand on some of them, we are looking for somebody to jump in with our TalentFill team. So TalentFill is a sister company of Ataraxis. We're all in the same building. We're all really part of the same team. We are the staffing side. So we need somebody to help us with the emails and the phone calls, you know, because it's really exciting to help people in this type of environment and to engage with so many people all the time. We are looking for, like I said, internally, we need our sales team. So we need to continue to grow that. Lots of people don't actually know what a PEO is. It is a professional employer organization. So that means, like I said, you know, we're just the HR team in supporting them, helping with business decisions. So we need our sales team to get out there, communicate that, get that interaction started, get that connection made. So we need a couple people there, and that's kind of a need, especially as things are starting to get kind of back to normal. Our front desk person certainly handles, well, typically when we're actually in the office more, this person handles all the walk-ins, greets people, but right now she's helping with all of the phone calls and all of the mail for all sorts of things, gets involved with every team and all the updates of what they're doing, so those are huge. So that's kind of more of our internal thing that we're trying to do as our team keeps growing.
So Kate, I do have a specific question for what were the software engineer developer positions?
Oh, perfect. Okay, so that is for TrueCare. So we are looking for a senior software engineer, software developers. So these are people with, experiences in like C#, React, all sorts of things. And I can get that information for you if you'd like to reach out, or if I can get that info from you. So we're looking for people who have that knowledge in the software industry to develop the back end of this app. And then also as we sell it to more places like hospitals and whatnot, we need people to understand what the pain points are of those users and then how we can make adjustments. And then so for the senior software engineer, that person is helping look at the big picture. How can we move this forward? As well as how can we continue to develop our software team? There's probably roughly 10 to 12 of them. So really exciting, close-knit group of people. How can we bring this team forward? I will add for TrueCare, what I have learned, and I'm definitely not in this software development industry, typically these jobs are remote and they're also contract based, but for ours, we are a close-knit group. They're upstairs actually in the building, same building Marley and I are in. So, they're there typically without COVID going on 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So if that's the type of environment where you like collaborating with people, like problem solving, but also like, being in your corner and powering through something, it's a really great team to join. Any other questions?
Thank you for that. No other questions at this time. So if you want to discuss any other companies' positions you're looking to hire for, please direct that.
Okay. I will go back to Saltzer Health just because that is a big one. So like I said, I just skimmed over all of our companies. For more information for Saltzer Health, as you've probably noticed or heard, they are the 3rd large hospital in this region. Urgent cares are opening up all over. So they're in Boise, Meridian, Nampa, Caldwell, places like that. And so we have urgent cares opening up, so that means we need customer service representatives, people who are excited to be out there engaging with people and being in the medical industry. We're looking for certified medical assistants. So those are people, who are helping the doctors, interacting with people. We also have part-time and full-time radiologic technologists, as well as registered nurses. So just based on people's flexibilities and their schedules, just really excited to get people in the door for Saltzer. They kind of had a hiring freeze when COVID hit, as everyone was trying to figure out what the climate was and how to get everyone in. But as I said, we're opening up new locations. So we're really excited to get people in the door to meet the need, because obviously the hospitals don't actually ever shut down. We're looking for some upcoming positions. So that's director of nursing, certified athletic trainers, supply chain managers, director of patient access, director of rehabilitation. So those positions, require lots of experience, but in really unique fields. And they haven't been posted yet. Those were just announced. So we're excited to get that out in the door in front of everybody. And then our temporary phlebotomists is another one we're working on right now. So these people might be going down to Sun Valley in the next couple of weeks to help with COVID testing down there. So if you know of anybody who has those skills, likes drawing blood, likes that type of interaction, please pass them my way. Love to connect with them. That one, like I said, is going down to Sun Valley for testing probably in the next couple of weeks, just based on need and how things arise. And I think that's it for all of those types that we have coming up. Do we have any other questions based on any of the things we've discussed so far?
Or if we have any job seekers out in our room here that are looking or have a specific skill set, you're looking for a type of career to get into, feel free to enter that into the Q&A function of here so that our recruiters can talk and discuss those jobs that they do have available that would be a good fit.
We can also give advice for these types of interviews if you have those questions. So for example, the types of things I'm asking software developers is different than what Marley is asking his construction or light industrial people, whatnot. So if you have any questions as to how to get into a market like this, please let us know. As we've said, we talk with lots of people. We know the ins and outs of all of this, and we know what these industries are looking for. So it's a great insight if you have any questions.
All right, no questions at this point. So do you want to cover any other positions for different companies that you are hiring for?
I think I have covered all of mine. I do want to add a few more things for Autovol, just things that I have learned. Marley has actually just joined our team rather recently, so we just kind of threw him into the deep end, but he's doing an awesome job taking over Autovol. So there are things we're looking for. We need a quality assurance manager, so that one is really a big need. That is a person who sees the big picture of this construction, because at some point, once all these robots are involved, they will be able to create an apartment unit in 1 hour. So we need a person to be able to look over, make sure, you know, everything is built to code, that it is safe, in fact, for people to move into. So this person also will somewhat be a mentor to our team, you know, our Autovol team of potentially 300 someday. So this quality assurance team will actually become larger than just one person initially. So that is a need. I see we have a question so far.
It's not a question, but it's something that we'll definitely pass over to the developers of Jobu.
Yep, every once in a while. If you could give more details, we can help you with Jobu. But otherwise, we can definitely pass your question along to our software developers. They're partly who we're looking for also.
On that note, with Jobu, do you guys have information for job seekers? They can access that from our website, idahocareerfair.com. If you want to kind of discuss the flow between Jobu Jobs and what you're hiring for and how you can make that connection for job seekers.
Absolutely. So one of the things that Jobu does that is unique, and they are actually another sister company of ours. One of the things they do that is unique is, you know, typically when you're searching for jobs, at least in my experience, I think of everything that I'm qualified for and I try to find those titles, right? So you think that maybe this industry is for me. But with Jobu, it's a little different. You put in, it's a little more in depth than a resume, because, you know, in a resume, we typically think we have rules, like it needs to be 1 page. But in Jobu, you put in all of your skills. So you could say I have 3 years of communication, 2 years of leadership, whatever, software development, nursing. You put in every skill that you have, you put in past job experience, and then based on the algorithms of Jobu, it matches you with what employers are putting in there. So I could say that I have a job, I am looking for somebody who has this many years of experience, you know, in all of these different fields, and then it matches you to my job. So it could say that Marley is a 75% chance match, or somebody's a 90. You know, and so as we develop Jobu further, it's getting better and better at figuring out what employers are looking for, what job seekers are looking for. So ultimately how it works is you become matched with a job you didn't know was out there. And then how it works then is there's the heart and then the X. So if there's a job you like, you hit the heart. If there's a job you don't like, you hit the X. That notifies Marley and I that you liked those jobs. We then look through all of our candidates. Initially, we do not know that people liked jobs. If we like this person back based on the skill set we're looking for and the skill set they have, it's a match. So it's somewhat like dating apps in a way, but you know, a little more concrete in that you're definitely presenting skills. And then from there, we just start the communication, get you set up for interviews, whatnot. Any questions on Jobu? Because it's a new and exciting app that's out right now. And I know it's definitely part of this event, but it's a great way to get connected with companies and people and perhaps things you never would have considered before.
There's a really great example of how skills don't necessarily, like you wouldn't think of you being in a role that, like, for example, I was a salesman before. I had never thought about doing recruiting, never thought about anything like that. And a lot of the skills that I learned in sales and customer service translated over to recruiting and helping people find jobs. And so like, that's why Jobu is a thing. Like it's something that like you can be matched with jobs that you've never even thought about doing, but you have the skills to do it. So it's really cool. I think that's really awesome.
Absolutely. And so with Jobu, we have been working, or rather our sales team has been working to grow the types of people out there, you know, so not only applicants, but also employers. So there's industries all over the community that maybe you weren't aware of, or companies you weren't aware of. Like Marley said, it's a really great way to realize you have skills for something you never even knew of, and you give it a shot. And that is how Marley joined us. He's been here 1 month and he's doing an awesome job, even though we threw him in the mix. But it's been really great for that type of thing. And it just helps people keep an open mind and try something new, and, you know, maybe not get stuck in what they think they should be doing. Any other questions? Well then, so I will tell you all of our jobs are in there. Marley has all of the Autovol jobs in there. They do have slightly different names just than how they are published online, but you find something that's really interesting and obviously you get matched with that. I have all of our Saltzer jobs as well as EuroShack, and then our internal jobs. So if you go through, create your account, maybe after this, you know, add some things, add a skill that you've done, think to everything, you know, if you have Microsoft experience, communication, whatever, anything that you have learned, you could probably add into your profile. There's also the About Me section, which is great to read. It's great to you get that interpersonal interaction and learn more about somebody. So if you want to give that a try. And then also, Marley and I are the people if you have questions for that as well. That one is jobujobs.com. And you just set up a profile. I believe it's either email and then a password. And then if you have issues, you can connect with a phone number. Any other questions on that? Nope. Okay, it went away.
So Marley, maybe could you guys go over, since you do represent quite a few companies and Jobu has quite a few diverse and different industries within the program, would you mind kind of going over the companies that are hiring in our valley today?
So that one I know we're a huge part. One connection we have is CWI, so students through there can connect with tons of people in the community. Specifically, there are a ton of companies, so I'm not fully sure of everything that we have out there right now. But like we said, it's far more industries, you know, even than you would have considered to be out there. All local jobs, all looking for people of various skill sets. So just, it's worth at least trying to apply, or rather creating a profile to see what you get matched with. Sorry, I don't have the specifics on all of the companies in there, but there's a ton of them. And then that site is jobujobs.com, Jobu jobs.com. And then as we had said earlier, just in case anybody wants to write this down, our phone number is 208-949-2955. The email address, if you want to reach out, ask a question, we can set up meetings if you want help with anything, is recruiting@ataraxispeo.com. What other information can we tell them, Marley?
I think that we've covered basically everything that we have going on for the positions we have out.
And just some other things to note as far as positions. Are your positions vary with part-time, full-time, seasonal jobs, all experience levels? If you could talk on that.
Yeah, that's great. They are definitely all experience levels. Majority of the jobs that I mentioned are full-time with benefits. There are a few part-time positions that as I discussed, there's the part-time radiologic technologists, part-time registered nurses. There's the temporary phlebotomists, so, you know, people traveling around drawing blood for COVID testing. And then Marley's jobs, the temporary to hire for Autovol are all temporary at this time without benefits. However, people can become permanent in just a couple weeks, and then they're eligible for benefits that way. One thing that's great about the Autovol that I don't know if we mentioned for the construction industry is their hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30. You know, so they're still working full time. They still have plenty of time at the end of the day to do whatever they want. And then at some point, Autovol is going to switch to 410s, so Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:30. And because they are out in Nampa, kind of in a remote area, they are going to start bringing out food trucks to give their workers, their team, more dining options. So all sorts of benefits for these types of jobs, even to little things like that, that all add up.
Okay, thank you, Kate and Marley. Do you want to share from your screen your website or Jobu's website, AtaraXis, so folks can see that and know where to go?
Sure, I can pull up the Jobu site. Let me just get that in there. And then am I just allowed to, oh yeah, I can share screen. So this is what Jobu Jobs looks like. So the great way to do it is Marley and I are on this side to post jobs. So that is how we see that, you know, who matches with ours. And then everybody else, you guys go to sign up to find jobs, except maybe not right there. But typically you go there, sign up to find jobs. It's a bright yellow screen, I believe. And that is where you create an account, you know, for email address, password. And then if you have issues, I believe you set it up with your phone number. But otherwise, if you have any questions with that, I think it's down right now because we have software developers adding some things that people keep requesting. So, you know, just always, as we've said, always growing. It is a new company, so we're really excited to kick that one off, or at least rather to keep growing it. But that is where you sign in, create your account, and then myself, Marley, and then tons of other people actually in this job fair can reach out to you with opportunities and set up interviews and get to know you a bit better.
All right, thank you, Kate, for that. And then if you don't mind also sharing again for Marley on how to apply for those Audible positions. Oh, Marley, go ahead and unmute.
So for the Audible jobs, just go ahead and you can just send me an email or call me. You don't have to send your resume. I just need your email. Just send like, hey, I'm interested in an Audible position. I'll send you an application. It's really easy, really quick, and then we can begin the conversation. That email is recruiting@ataraxispeo.com, or you can give me a call at 208-949-2955. But yeah, anyway, just get a hold of me and we can start the conversation.
Great. Do we have any more questions from our job seekers out there in this room? We have about 3 minutes left. If you have questions, please type them into the Q&A function while we've got Kate and Marley's attention, and you can get those answered.
Anything else? I will just add, or a reminder, as Marley said, Audible right now has a team of about 40 people. Our goal is to get to 300, obviously not anytime soon, but just gradually. So there will continually be opportunities in the light industrial type work, whether it's construction, general maintenance, machines, maintenance for the machines, or for the robots rather. You know, just all sorts of opportunities. So please keep Audible in mind. They are a really exciting company with a really unique culture. They consider everybody to be solutioneers, so people who are finding solutions to problems they've never had, you know, new problems, weird problems, and they consider everybody to be their work family. So to be part of that type of environment at that scale is something really exciting.
Okay, thank you, Kate and Marley, and thank you for our attendees out there that are watching. And hopefully you received good information and can go and apply right after this virtual job fair so they can find your resume and get things started. And if nothing else, then from Kate and Marley, I appreciate your time and participating in this virtual job fair.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us.
Yes. And at this time, we've got a couple of minutes, so we will just put on a hold, and our next company participating is Zoroko Packaging. And we will give them a few minutes to get them on board here. We do want to thank our sponsor, JR Simplot Company, for sponsoring this networking room. We appreciate their support so that we can continue to hold job fairs in this type of environment and connect our companies with our job seekers. So without them, we would not be able to continue to broadcast this out to all of our community members and job seekers. And then we will begin in just a couple of minutes and get started with Zeroko packaging. And if we just don't mind holding, we're just gonna work to get Eric, the HR representative from Zeroko, on here on our into our networking page. So don't mind holding. And while we are waiting to get that set up, just a couple of items to note for this room. This networking session will be recorded for later viewing. Those job seekers that are in this room are welcome to ask questions using the Q&A function on your screen. You can type in the questions and then we'll make sure I'll help monitor those questions and get those read aloud so that Erica with Zeroko can get those answered. And all company information, contact information for the companies that have participated in our virtual job fair today can be found on idahocareerfair.com. And those are listed under the participating companies button, just on the virtual job fair page we're at now. Let's see if we don't have Eric in attendance yet. Just maybe hold at this time. We do have 4 other rooms, so if you would like to go pop in one of those rooms and come check back, we can do that. At this time, we have Great American Snacks over in networking room number 3 that you can pop over to as well. This time we are trying to reach out to Zeroko just to see if there's any technical difficulties or what challenges we're having to get him into the room. If you don't mind, we'll hopefully get started in just a couple of minutes. We do appreciate your time and hope that this virtual job fair has been a good resource for you all. Before these rooms began with the company representatives, we did run a seminar presentation schedule at 11 o'clock. So we held a 2-hour session where we had companies, representatives from Department of Labor. We had a couple of recruiting companies and marketing folks that came in just to discuss how to ace a virtual interview and how to brand yourself in order to get recognized and hired into a company position. And then we also had KIBI Channel 6 attend and participate to provide additional resources, not just employment, but other types of references that you can go to on their rebound page. So that was very effective. If you go to our website, idahocareerfair.com, you can find those that video and these rooms that have been recorded out on there and watch them at a later time. And at this time, we are not able to get Eric in, so I will be putting a pause on this room. If you would like to visit networking room number 3 and then check back, I will take us off hold if we're able to get Eric on over here. Thank you. To be able to get Sirocco in this room at this time, again, you can go to Sirocco Packaging directly or utilize our website at idahocareerfair.com under participating companies to reach their contact information. And we do have another room, the virtual networking room number 3, that does have Great American Snacks, and they have a lot of opportunities and growth at this time. So you can go and join that room. And we do thank you all for your time and for joining us at the virtual Idaho Job and Career Fair. Have a good day.